they will chase you out of your home. They will run you down and kill you. They'll imprison you, and they think that they're doing
You're
it
on
for
video.
God. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You have people who they forget the road to Damascus. Paul, when he was Saul, was the great accuser of the brethren. He was out there. He was hurting people. He was imprisoning people. He was persecuting the brethren. He meets Jesus on the road to Damascus. He is ever changed, and even all the
This
things
is
that he had,
Shetty.
his wealth and his knowledge. He says, "I count it for nothing, because now I have Jesus."
And
You
company.
have gone from a
You know what I'm
Paul
saying?
state of mind back to a Saul state of mind.
Absolutely.
It's dangerous, man. It's so
And,
dangerous.
and it is interesting, I mean, obviously, the Lord in his wisdom, informed all of humanity that the love of money would be the root of all evil. So when you see it, the full culmination of which is the mark of the beast, which is what all this
This is
infrastructure
Papa.
for, which is what the cryptocurrency is for, what the Trump coin is for, what the whatever, the central bank digital currency is for, the AI infrastructure is for. The blockchain technology.
I went to Walmart today.
To
and snapped off
your love of money. Why did everybody
a
get the
section of this plant
the immunotherapy that changed you
that I know
I
I have raised. All you have to do is put it in water.
So that they could maintain their level,
and it will root, and you can put it in dirt.
It was to maintain a certain level of pleasure, to be able to travel.
Yeah.
To be able to keep my job, to be able to keep.
I stole from Walmart today, and they have no
lifestyle that I like. Why the entirety of the emerging
But then I bought stuff and paid for it.
Church model, where did that come about from? Rick Warren's purpose-driven life. Money.
Walmart steals from us.
And you don't offend people with talking about sin and righteousness.
I really
and
hate
Walmart.
Walmart.
And fear of the Lord and all these things.
The fact that I was there,
you get more people, which means more money, which means more capital campaigns,
spending
more expansion,
my
and more
funds there
campuses, right?
disgusts me.
Money.
Altogether.
My book, Omega Dynamics, Equipping a Warrior Class of Christians, was turned down by every Christian publisher. Every single
you
one
little
of them,
petite shot.
including, I won't say it, because friends that work there. One of the big ones that I guarantee you, all of your listeners.
This is your second time at motherhood, huh?
Every book that comes out, they would not touch it with.
You were separated
because they couldn't make massive money
from your babies in the cold.
Which is why
by my ex.
Right? So
he bound you up, and you couldn't even go. Your breasts were full of milk because you had kitties, and he's so ignorant and careless.
Financial suffering.
He locked you up in a cold,
or familial, right, or relational types of persecution.
Cold space.
But typically, it's how it's going to affect.
And now you're here and well fed.
As in their level of lifestyle that they will maintain at all costs to the death. Why is everybody championing Trump and giving him a pass on every overt, in-your-face Luciferian act he's done? Because he's restoring the economic prowess of the United States of America. And they are de facto beneficiaries of what Trump's doing. So they don't care about the other agendas as long as they get a little bit more money on their IRA.
I'm allergic to cats,
working
actually.
Their actuaries and the gas
but that
price
doesn't
comes
stop me
down
from
a little
loving
bit.
cats.
That's the only matrix that the 99.7% of humanity operates off of is a love of money. And it's sad that most people can't even understand that. And you think about it even,
this is Scout.
within the Christian truther movement. Why
My
is there
grandma
so much
dog.
faith-based stuff?
My little grandma
Why is there
dog.
sensationalism and hyperbole? Why is every red alert, red alert, red alert? By the way, anybody who posts a red alert screen every single day of their life,
She was found on a street.
Unsubscribe from them and don't follow them.
She had puppies
so
too.
Emotionally predatory, it makes me want to vomit. Bombshell report.
They scooped her up off the street and took her to the
get your money, to get your
jail.
attention, to get the clicks,
doggy jail, yes, you call it.
Influence with people to get the money.
They
so you can't even trust
spayed her.
Their intel.
That's so she's spayed,
word, right? Like this constant thing, and it's all about exploitation.
And she's old. You can see the gray.
Gain for money. And so it's
how many litters she had before? Only Father knows.
This is like kindergarten.
And I went and rescued her.
Operational tactics. There's
because
no
she looks
huge
and reminded me like
four-dimensional chess going on here. This
the
is
dog,
like Chutes and Ladders
my babe.
for
Her name was Babe.
kindergartners. And maybe you get to eat a little bit of
That
glue
my
on the side.
ex
Like,
ran over
that's
and
how
killed
low
in the
level
driveways. He ran over her.
I knew you would like that. like that's how low level these tactics are. But why would
And
you
I
employ
scooped
any
my
more
babe up and
significant
brought her
tactics
into a
when the human
house
psychology, actually the human heart, sorry,
and
the
laid
human
her
heart
on
is so
this
self-focused and
very couch right
self-absorbed
here.
that it doesn't even care. It really
Right
doesn't
here.
want the Lord. Really doesn't want the word.
This
really
is
doesn't
where
want
she
the
died.
body, really doesn't want to grow in the fear of the Lord. It doesn't want to die to self. It doesn't want to crucify the flesh.
So the
It
few
doesn't want
things
to
I
mortify
have
the
that I
flesh.
brought from
It
my
doesn't
house
want to
have a lot of...
suffer with Christ so that he can be unified with him in the resurrection, the glorification. It doesn't want any of that. They are lovers of
A lot.
pleasure over and
History.
above God. They have the form of godliness. Talk a lot.
This
of
thing right
Christian
here.
language. A lot, and maybe relatively more
That was in my grandmother's
than the next
house.
guy. So they have the form of godliness.
That is
but
the
they deny
heirloom furniture
all
I have.
the power thereof.
Handmade.
That's where we're at right now in real time.
Pie
Well, look
safe.
at Paula White. Paula White,
And it
who
is what
as
houses
close to a false prophet as you can
my
get.
food.
I mean,
Our food.
Disgusting. Yeah.
And Trump appoints
Canned
her
food.
to the faith office, the highest.
I don't have
office of
much.
faith,
I don't need
however
much.
it is that came about.
But I
She
cherish
was
what I
elected
have.
to the
And I
US.
thank
She's in
God
the
for
White
what
House.
He's given me.
Here she is talking about her false
And for
starts.
this place.
I mean, dude, how many
No matter how small.
people of her doing turkey calls
I thank
and
the
claiming
Father
false
for
starts?
Daryl.
Dude,
And
she said anybody who tells you to deny yourself is from Satan.
Hey,
And
she
this
said-
She
thing,
literally called Christ
Daryl won.
Beelzebub. She called Christ Satan because that is his
The
only
oops.
message. Whoever would come after me must pick up
It's
his
working.
cross and deny himself. She knew exactly
Love
what she
y'all.
was saying and how she was saying.
Oh,
Dude,
and
this
Alan
is
Gregory
a-
is in
this
Canada
the same
visiting our
lady
sister
That is Trump's faith advisor.
Rebecca Lynn.
She's on Good Morning America.
And they are
And
having a
she's,
blast,
you know,
and
putting
her
out another
face
one of
is
her
full of
books
joy.
that she
And
has
let me
probably
show you.
20 different kinds of people
This is
write.
them
And I
yesterday.
know people just like that, just saying. And so here she is. She said, you know, this book's $35, but
Gotta love it.
you should give me $350 for it.
And
You should
Jesus
give
is all a
me
part of it.
$3,500 for
And
it.
Daryl
You
got
should
him a
give me
new bike.
$35,000 for it. Some of you out there who've been blessed
Well,
by the
old
Lord,
bike.
you should
Old
be
new.
giving
It's new to him.
$800,000
This is
for
from the
this.
80s, actually.
Why is it all about money? It's all about money.
But it was a bargain.
Her megastar
It is a
music fourth husband.
Trek. If you know what those things cost.
We played a thing in their
120 bucks.
church, where he's behind
That was a steal.
the pulpit, and he says, "Lady, you
That's
should,
Pawpaw.
ladies, you should watch
Pawpaw.
pornography with your husbands. That way you'll know how to please them." And here she is off to the side. She's a pastor in charge of a church. She's already out of line, right? A man should be in that position if we're going to go by the
All
Bible.
I got.
All right, it's not sexist. The Lord put that in place. But she's already
Everything I have is a
disqualified
blessing.
4 different
I
times
thank you
through
all for
marriages and divorces.
being kind and
now you let
generous
this reprobate come up
to
there
me.
and literally
Because
you try to stay polite when I say this. You're literally spitting in the face of Christ by letting this man talk to people who claim to be Christian. I'm sure there's
I'm
plenty of
doing
them in
everything I
there
can
who have been
to get a
duped
job.
into thinking, this woman, she prays and she's got the tongues of fire,
I've
and so
gotten
that
several
must
jobs.
be what it's all about.
But I'm
You
so
have no
grandma and
idea, guys, how
technology is
serious
not
Christ
my
is when he
my
says,
cup of
"Depart
tea.
from me, you workers of
So
evil,
pray for me,
you
please.
workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
I'm not
You
giving
proclaim
up.
stuff in some other Jesus' name, not my name. You weren't
Yeah.
me.
Not
You
giving
didn't
up.
follow me.
Well, I
You don't
think
work,
it's
you don't eat.
interesting
Scripture.
The context, again, that Christ gives us, and I wish I had notes in front of me that
I
laid
got
it
one
out.
car,
I
and I have
spoke
to keep
about
it
in
rolling.
a sermon on the Great Deception, but
If you
about how he says many
care at all,
false
to
prophets and false messiahs, plural,
send
will
me
arise
$1. I
and lead
don't
many
know.
astray.
I hate
So,
asking. Oh,
to look at the distinction between
fathers
what
are
a prophet
providence.
is and what a
It
messiah
bothers me
is,
so bad.
and
I'm so
and
grateful for all the
it's happening in
generations.
real time. And actually, I believe that Elon Musk is 100%
Fathers
a
will be
false
done.
Messiah. He's beyond a false
Prayers
prophet. Paula
are
White is a false
priceless.
prophet.
Pray for
But
me
then you
and
have
nothing
you have
else.
a new
I
Noah
love you
Yuval
all,
Harari,
and I
who
thank
is
you all from the
also a
bottom of my
false
heart.
prophet, who's pointing to
All
false
you
messiahs,
all
right? And then you
are
have
in
this
my heart
context of this stuff
basket.
going on everywhere at the same time, which is why it's so
Heart
fearsome. I think the
basket.
fearsome
You're in my
thing,
heart
Doug,
basket,
is
and
that
you're right here in my
I'm
mind.
increasingly becoming
And
aware
I'm
of the
watching
weightiness, like a sorrow,
and
like
taking
a
everything
deep,
in as I can.
a godly
I
sorrow,
got
and
a
at
small
times
head,
indignation, sometimes in my
but a
flesh,
big heart.
carnal indignation, other times a
And I love
righteous
you all, and
indignation,
pray for you all,
is how few, how
always.
few, so horrifically
Don't forget I
few,
love you, ever.
actually love the Lord and want the Lord. How few want to honor him and glorify him because they know what he did for them.